Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, how to edit multi-track acoustic drums. When you're in your recording process, whether for your project or your client's projects, acoustic drums, when they're recorded well, can really add a lot of life to your productions. But you have to remember the human element. We as humans will get really close to our click track if we're recording to that, or use our natural time when playing with others to get the groove right. But sometimes the drummer needs a little extra help in post as well. So today we're going to go over a couple of the steps of editing multi-track drums. So let's dive into the DAW and get going. So here we are inside of the session, and when you're working on your session, if you have the ability to, take the time and perform extra takes and put them to layers. This will help you later because maybe somebody messes up a drum fill, they rush a part, they're too slow on a different section. What you can do if you're doing multiple layers is pick and choose which ones sound best and comp it all together. I already have a video out going over layers and comping. It's one of my earliest videos, but I'll still put a link in the description. In this session, all I have is this one take of drums. So this is what we're working with. Sometimes that's what you get. If you're just mixing a project, sometimes you'll get sessions like this. It's the finished product, but there are some things that you notice aren't quite right and could use a little cleaning up. That's what we have here. The drummer in the chorus and the verses, everything is really tight. But in this post-chorus section, the kick drums are always just a bit behind. He's doing straight quarter notes on the snare, and the kick drum is supposed to be on the upbeat to make almost like a little gallop. But like I said, those kick drums are just a little late. So let's take a listen to how everything sounds now. I'm a little bit in the chorus, and it will go into this post-chorus section. So you can hear it's trying to do this gallop, but something's not quite right. It's not locking with the groove of everything else. But towards the end of this section, he locks right back in. So we don't want to manipulate anything after that, and we don't want to manipulate the chorus before that. So let's get going with the process. First thing I would do is select all of your drum tracks, and if you don't have it already, put them into a group. This will make editing a lot easier. That's with the keyboard shortcut of Command and G or Control G if you're on a PC. These are our drums, so we'll name them as such. Now everything is linked, so if I click on one of the files, it will select all of them. Next thing I want to do, just as a safety precaution, and I highly recommend this, is duplicate your layer. Come back to your track header, right click, and you'll get this menu. Underneath layers, you'll get duplicate layer. I have this as a keyboard shortcut, so feel free to take mine if you're doing a lot of things with layers. When you duplicate your layer, you'll get this pop up, and it's saying if you want to rename your layers. I don't need to do that right now, so I'm just gonna hit OK. Also, as a default for me, it expands my layers, and I'm just gonna hide that. That was underneath the same right-click menu, expand layers. I also have a keyboard shortcut for this. So let's find our target areas and keep them safe. I know that this area here is our chorus, and there's a nice break before this post-chorus part. So I can navigate here and double-click. Double-clicking will insert a slice, and now I won't be doing anything to the parts before this. Now let's find our end section as well, which I think was right around bar 50. So it is this hit in bar 50 on beat 3. This is where everything kind of locks in again. So I'm going to do the same thing and cut here. Now we can go over a few different approaches for editing your drums, and we're just going to be working on this section here. The first way is the old-fashioned way, where you go through each and every hit, or just some select hits, like in this case, the kick drums, and make a slice. Because we have everything grouped, it will make that cut on all of our tracks. And when we move things around, it will keep the phase and the timing of the kick into our overheads all phase coherent and locked in together. So let's do that. We'll navigate back to the beginning by hitting L on our keyboard. Our playhead has come back to the beginning, and now what I can do is hit Tab. This will go to our first transient, or our first hit of our kick drum. And what I want to do is use my keyboard shortcut to make another slice here. Instead of going in and double clicking everything, I can use Option and X or Alt and X on a PC. When we hit it, we get another slice. Now, because we're in the same space, I can use my pinky to hit Tab and it will go to the next transient. In this case, it's our snare drum, and that's locked in. I don't want to do anything to that. So I'm going to hit Tab again, and it will jump to our next kick. Now we can repeat the process. It's going to be a little slow here because what it's doing when you're hitting Tab is it's tabbing to the transients. But because it's looking at all of our drums, it's moving all of the small little hits in our overheads and rooms as well. So it's finding all of our transients. So you may have to hit Tab a few times to go to your next transient. So I went ahead and sped up me going through and cutting all of these transients because it is a slow and tedious process. But now that we've done it, what we can do is go in and select all of these parts and hit Q on your keyboard to quantize these drums. It will latch to your quantize amount here, so make sure you have it set to what you're doing. It's done a little bit of processing, but now let's take a look and, more importantly, a listen. Helped a little, but it still wasn't quite there. So I'm going to turn my bend markers off, and for all of these, I'm going to go back to the original take, and we'll go to the next way that you can do your multi-track drum editing. In Studio One, what you can do is actually bend the audio. Some other DAWs have this as well, like Elastic Audio, or there's some other names for it out there. But if we go up here to the audio bend, what we can do is actually analyze and detect all of the transients in these sections, and that's what we're going to do now. You can also go into here and change your mode from standard to sensitive. If you're not getting what you need in standard, try again in sensitive. When you hit analyze, it'll go through all of the tracks, and it will put these little markers at all of the transients. Then what you can do is you can adjust your threshold. If you're getting too many hits or not enough, you can adjust this line here, and you can see that it's populating more and more or less and less of these bend markers. As you're doing this, make sure you're getting all of your hits and not missing anything. For me, about 45% was right where it's getting all of my transients. Then moving on, what you can do is check in the track section. You can change your group that you're applying this to. In this case, I don't want all channels, I just want my drums, and it'll show you all of your other groups that are in your session. For our time stretch, you can go with drums or any of the other stretching capabilities that Studio One has, like sound, solo, and tape. And then underneath guides, you have all of your tracks here. So what you can go in and say, well, I just want to make sure that my kicks are being affected, and this is my guide track. If my kick is locked in, everything else is going to be locked in. So I'm going to leave that one on. Then in the last section, right now we're set to slice. So if I hit apply, it's going to make all of our different cuts, and then we'd have to quantize them ourselves. If I undo and change this to quantize, what it'll do is we'll shift everything to lock to the grid, and I can apply how much strength or how tight to the grid with the strength control here. When I hit apply, you can see it shifts everything and locks everything right into the grid. Then again, take a listen. Make sure that it's working the way it's supposed to. Okay, now last but not least is the macro that Studio One already has for you. I've reset everything back to where it was, and I'm going to go to my macro button here. I'm also going to be in audio editing, and at the end here, underneath transients, is align transients. When we hit this, a number of different actions are going to go on. Let's take a look at them. By right-clicking, we can do Edit Macro, and it shows us. If there was an audio part, it's going to first dissolve the audio part. Then it's going to detect the transients, split at the bend markers, quantize those, fill the gaps that's by actually adding in some of the audio that's already been recorded and just stretching the events out. It's going to create crossfades. It's going to bounce those selections to a new file, and then it's just going to deselect everything. So let's go ahead and do that right now. This is the same section, and it is going to do everything, but we'll take a listen to see if everything locks to our grid. And there we go. Now, like we said before, most importantly, let's listen. So there's a few little things in here. Some of those tom fills got a little rushed, and right when it goes back into our safe zone, it's cut off just a little bit. With a little more editing, we could really clean these up. Make sure our cymbals carry over the right way because we don't want those to cut off. Make sure we're not killing any of the transients of these drums and removing all of the punch. We want to make sure that things are clean and not noticeable, even in the full mix the way it is. You can hear these little bits, but with a little practice and a little patience, you can really get your editing just right. What are some other methods that you've used to edit your multitrack drums? Let me and everyone else know in the comments below. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For more, visit timflansbaum.com. And if you have a question, ask it in the comments and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.